Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let's look at copying and pasting complex objects between apps. So usually copy and paste involves very simple things like a piece of text or a bitmap image. And you can copy and paste between apps as you would expect. For instance, you can copy a piece of text from Pages and paste it into TextEdit. You can copy an image from one image editing thing like say iPhoto into another, say Pixelmator. But you can also copy and paste other objects and the apps simply do the best they can. Now, it used to be that you couldn't do this if an object wasn't compatible, like say a chart from Pages or Numbers, and you copy that and you try to paste it into TextEdit. TextEdit simply wouldn't accept it. But now apps actually accept these things and just do the best they can with it. Let's look at some examples. So here I have a Pages document where I've created a couple of complex objects. The first one here is simply an image that I stuck inside of a shape, and then I assigned a picture frame to the shape, I did a shadow, and I did a mirror. So you can see that there's all sorts of different things going on here. It's not a simple image. Now you would expect if I would select it and then copy that I might just get the image itself, or perhaps I'd get the entire thing, but it would only work if I would paste it into Pages. So for instance, I'll do a paste here and I end up with a duplicate of it in Pages. But what if I paste it in something else? So let's go into TextEdit. And TextEdit here I have a rich text document. A regular text document of course can only accept text. But a rich text document can accept lots of different things like images. And let me paste here. And you can see I actually get everything here. I get the frame, I get the shadow, and I get the mirror all put together. And what it is it's not an object anymore. I can't select it and edit the frame because frame editing options, that's something from Pages. That's not a part of TextEdit. So what it's done is it's found the lowest common denominator between the two of them. So that's an image. So it's taken this and converted it to an image and then it's stuck it in there. So this is just a plain normal image and I've got it now in TextEdit. Actually, if I would copy it here and paste it back into Pages, you can see now it's a totally different thing. It's simply an image that I have selected as opposed to this complex object. So let's try with something else. Here's just a sample chart that I've created. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to switch over to TextEdit again and I'm going to paste that in. And you can see it did the same thing here. This is just a plain image. I can't edit it. I can't do anything with it right now. If I wanted to change that I would have to go back into Pages, change it, then copy and paste it back into TextEdit. But it did actually give me a good representation of the object. Let's look at one final one, and I was talking about lowest common denominator. So here's a simple table in Pages. So you would think that the lowest common denominator between Pages and TextEdit is not in fact an image, creating an image of this, but in fact creating a TextEdit table. And in fact that's what we get. If I were to paste this in here I see that I've got a table that I can actually edit now. So it's converted this to a TextEdit table because it was able to get exactly the same thing between both. You can see they look the same. Now what about going to an image editing tool? So I'm going to select this again here and copy it, and I'm going to go over to Pixelmator as an example and I'm going to paste in here. And you can see that it's pasted the image there because of course it doesn't have those Pages tools for editing the frame and thing like that. That's something specific in Pages. But I do actually get the image here just like I did TextEdit. And the same thing would happen if I would copy the table and go to Pixelmator. I could paste it in there. And if I go over here to this table, this was a chart, this is a table, and I go to Pixelmator and I paste it in, you can see it doesn't work there. So this doesn't work 100% of the time. You would expect maybe it to create an image here, but in fact it just isn't compatible between the two of them and there's no way for me to paste that in. I just don't get anything. So what's really going on here is the magic happens when you copy. When you copy a complex object in something like Pages, it actually takes all the elements of that complex object, puts them in there in case you're going to paste it into Pages again, so it can create a true duplicate of it. But it also takes an image preview of that and it stores that as well. And then when you try to paste it into something, say Pixelmator, it will then say, well, I can't do anything with all this data that makes up the object, but there's an image preview, I'll use that instead. So when I was trying to copy the table, it didn't create an image preview, it just copied the table. TextEdit was able to understand the data and use it, but Pixelmator wasn't. But what about objects that have complete compatibility between apps? So for instance, I'm going to take all three of these from Pages here. I've selected them all and I'm going to copy them. And I'm going to go over to Keynote. Now Keynote is part of the same original iWork set of apps and has all the same tools in it. So when I paste in here, I actually get all these objects. And not only do I get them, but they're the actual objects themselves. You can see I can go into the inspector and I can change aspects of it and alter it. So I'm actually getting the real thing, not just a preview here when I go between Pages and Keynote. How about some other apps? Here I am in Safari and I've selected some text that even includes an image, and I'm going to copy that. Now let's take a look at what happens when I go into Pages here and I paste it in Pages. You can see I kind of get a representation of what's going on here. It doesn't quite capture exactly everything, but you can see I've got the fonts and the colors of the fonts and the images there, and it even created a little text box for me. So what I'm trying to show here is don't be afraid to try copying and pasting objects between apps that you commonly work with. You may get the original object, you may get just an image representation or something else, or you may get nothing at all. But you may find something that's compatible and that helps you with some workflows that you have to deal with all the time. Hope you found this useful. Till next time, this is Gary with MacMost Now. If you found this video useful, there's one thing you can do for me in return. It won't cost you anything and it'll just take you a few seconds. If you're not already at MacMost.com, go there and then look for the video you just watched and go to that page. Underneath the video you'll see a bunch of different links that help you share the video with friends. Take a second to click the like button. This sends a signal out to the rest of the internet that the video is worth watching. Thanks.